protecting who, that's a question in Plague Tale Requiem, one of the better games of 2022, that at times is also instantly frustrating that it does not rise above some of the problems that just don't really need to be there, and they continue to reflect the issue that we saw in the original game. Let's Begin, the Messiah and Huger are not some great, the likes of which we have not seen since the first games, and like any sequel that works better if you pump up the action and suspense and murder and risk from the original. What works better than that? Nothing. Plague Tale Requiem follows Huger affected still with that dark magic of the Macula and his consistent protector Amicia, as they continue to seek out some kind of cure for his ills, and they maintain use Mason face as a shield for 10 plus houses of Amicia though his child Hughes. The plague versions of the Pied Piper, Skyper and so the levels controlling the rats, but imagine if the Pied Piper stopped. And instead of the kids waking up, they turned on him and ate him down to his shoes. That Plague Tale, the original game, showcased Amicia and Huger running for their lives from both enemies and killers, as well as that dark power that was affecting Huger, letting him have an innate connections with the plague and rats within the game. World Requiem dives deeper into that story as well as doling out new powers, instruments of killing and enemies, but it's not always as smooth as it should be. First, the world and the narrative continue to be excellent as you walk with that exaggerated wager of a girl and a young child in ancient French, walking through towns, taking in their finery, and then usually leaving a decided empty shell of the towns for myself, because if bad luck had an icon, all cultures could understand it be a drawing of Huger's big ass. But that dude is pure misfortune, and when they open the reverse fortune cookie of powers again, and Amicia says it's happening again, and you realize that's not just a one-off. It's a reflection of almost everything in the game world, and world is a proper term requirement. It's spanning, it has the twins and a collection of social travels moving with them across a new part of France. It's an epic story stretching when it needs to and contracting down into spaces and places with peaceful downtime when the pacing gets just a bit too frantic and it lets everything breathe for a moment. Has anything changed from the original? Well, not when it comes to the gameplay. It's still story, and in the end some combat with Huger's powers. He soon learns how to control rats, so this takes a while into the game before he can do so, driving them around like a rat truck and smashing other humans, eating them whenever the rats find them, while Messiah is a stealthy killer who does not want to be a killer, constantly explaining how bad she feels when cracking some dude in the dome from 100 yards away with a rock, then putting down his torch so he can be mulched by a full-edged Cheaper Shredder Flash machine, known as the Red Hots. It never stops being entertaining, with her explaining continually how bad she feels while dying. This is inspired the more aggressive voice of taking out enemies. So as well, when it comes to the stills, and the stills continues to be the game's fine point, while it's a bit softer at times than other games which can occasionally see you being noticed by guards when you really don't think you should be, or walking into the shadows just a bit too far, and having the rats eat you, it still works. Excellent with that interplay of light and shadow, so both man-made and natural as the perfect crooks, on which the game's gameplay balances with the presentation. However, it also feels more forced than the original, especially the larger human cheese pieces that are stretched out a bit too big. It's like moments in the Queen's Gambit where he just wanted it to actually get moving and tell a bit more. Of the story, while I love the gameplay of the characters' motivation as a crucial part of the level design, there are times when finding just one more place that a puzzle piece grew a bit. Still Requiem tries to change things up, chase scenes, battle sections, bosses, and assortment of one-offs. But it also delights in throwing you into a spot where the first thing you think of is section A, guess into section B, and that makes a medieval-like piece. Right after that you will begin exploring some 14th century France, where the biggest thing that day is going to be a bunch. Of course, beating Sean and everybody deciding which one the coolest, and the point you might as well. Just celebrate the big rock you found in a field by tripping over it. It's a boring land, but there's people that you explore within. It are excited just to be alive, and say this is cool dictionary. You feel from the battle sections to some of this. Thanks for watching, subscribe to my channel and press like button on this video.